Hello. So I just finished my Bible study and I'm about to try to cook my salmon for my dinner. Um, but of course I wanted to do a quick video. Um, so we are in the book of Numbers and today was chapters 11 through 12. And you know, I've been talking about Job recently, but I think in another video I talked about Moses as well. And what we were talking about in those 3 chapters today was kind of something that has been, tugging at me a little bit. And what I mean by that is the Lord, or not the Lord, Moses was saying to the Lord that, like, all these people are complaining to him, and basically, like, all of this responsibility is falling on him and it's too much for him to bear. And so the Lord tells him to go gather the elders so that he could fill the elders with the Holy Spirit that was on Moses. And so I thought that was really interesting because just this past weekend, I was trying to put oil in my car, right? Now, me, when it comes to like tune-ups and stuff like that, I'm not really good. I'm normally pretty good when it comes to like my oil changes. But as far as like the other stuff, like transmission and all that, baby, not me. And so because I knew that I had to travel like over 30 minutes this past weekend, something was like, Karina, you haven't gotten the oil change in a minute, so check your oil levels. And so I did, and what I thought I saw was my oil level was low. However, when I went to AutoZone to buy some oil, two gentlemen actually, but the first gentleman that was at AutoZone, he checked it. He was like, I mean, yeah, you could put this quart in here, but you don't need more than a quart. Basically telling me that my oil levels was good. Y'all, I don't know what I was looking at. And so I was like, okay. But then, so I'm also on the phone with my dad because I'm like asking my dad, where do I put the engine oil? Because this is the first car that I've had. This is actually only my second car ever. And the first car that I had was like a 96. So very easy to read the stuff and put it on there. But this car that I got, the only thing that said engine oil was the little thing that you pull out to look at it to see where the level is, and you put it back in the little metal thing. That's the only thing that said engine oil. The actual place where you put the engine oil has an S on it. How am I supposed to know that engine oil goes there if it's an S on it and not an E? Or even the word oil. So my dad was like, well, take a picture of it and send it to me. So I took a picture of it. I sent it to him, and he trying to like zoom in and figure out where it goes. And he's like, what kind of car you got again? So I tell him, he's trying to Google it. So he's like, Karina, just ask somebody. And I'm just like, oh, Dad, like, that's why I'm calling you. And then so, of course, I did go eventually ask the guy, and the guy comes back and he tells me, and he's also, and then so he shows me where the engine oil is. And then after I get shown what the engine oil is, I'm trying to like take the, like twist the cap off. And I'm like, Dad, isn't it, I turned to the left, right? And he's like, okay, righty tighty, lefty loosey. Yeah, you turn it to the left. So I'm like, well, I'm turning it and it's not moving. He was like, well, just keep trying. You know, it might be on there a little tight. So, you know, just keep trying. So I'm like trying and trying and trying, and it's not working. And I'm getting frustrated. I was already frustrated because I was looking at this car, y'all. I was looking under that hood for like a good 7 minutes before I called my dad. And I called my dad when I was at the brink of about to cry and have a mental breakdown. And I was like, you know what? Let me call my dad. My dad always knows these things. So I get the help. The guy, well, I go back in and ask the guy to help me take it off, and he couldn't do it. He said that it was tight. So he tells me, wherever you went to go get your oil change, if it's not too far, take it there, and they'll have to use pliers to remove it, right? Okay, boom. So I go to the place. It was right across the street. Thank the Lord. Go across the street, and my dad, he's prompting me on the phone, telling me what to say. So I go up to the guy. I let him know, hey, I got my oil change here. Can't really afford to get an oil change right this second, but I got a quart of oil that I need to put in. Can you help me take off the engine oil thing? So he's like, yeah. So he goes and grabs the utensils, and he tries to, you know, take it off first, and he's like, oh, okay, yep, I need some pliers. So get some pliers, come back. So he takes it off. He checks my levels again, and he's like, yeah, that 1 quart should be fine. After that, like, you good. So I'm like, okay, all right, so I only needed 1 quart. I don't know why I was thinking that my oil was so low, y'all. Whatever the case. So he puts it in. He puts the oil in for me. So he takes off the cap. He puts the oil in for me. He has a little funnel thing, you know, got me together, sent me on my way. I said, thank you so much. And so my dad was like, see, all you got to do is just ask for help when you need help. And I'm like, well, Dad, you know I don't like asking for help. And the crazy thing is, right before I called my dad, one of my guy friends called me. And I was telling him what I was doing. And he was like, just go get the oil change. And I'm like, dude, if I could afford the oil change, I would have been getting the oil change. And he's like, well, do you need the money to get the oil change? And I was like, no. And he was like, are you sure? And I'm like, no, but thank you. I appreciate the offer, like, but no. And he's like, well, I know how you Capricorn women can be. You don't like asking for help. And I was like, sir, you a Capricorn too. So what you talking about, Capricorn women? He was like, well, I know. That's why I'm saying it takes one to know one. So anyway, I tell you that story, and I brought it back to Moses because, yeah, it does get hard when you try to take on all this responsibility and you don't like asking for help. You just bear the weight of everything. It gets hard. It gets super hard. And that's how complaining becomes a thing. And y'all, I'm not gonna lie, I've been complaining at work. And so all the stuff that we're talking about in these 3 chapters, I'm just like, Now, I don't know if I fall into the category of envy and jealousy, because I don't think that I'm envious. Even when people have things that I don't wish that I have what they have, because you never know what people are going through. They can have something that you want, but doesn't mean that their situation is, you know, peaceful, or like, you never know what people had to go through to get to the stage that they are in. So I wouldn't say that I'm envious or jealous, but when it comes to like complaining and trying to bear the weight myself on a lot of things, yeah, I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress in those areas. Um, and you know, I really do appreciate this Bible study that I'm doing and taking the time to just spend time with God and know what's in his word, and then also reading these things and how it just kind of correlates to the things that I'm going through. And y'all, it's so funny because the Lord is like so intentional. This had to be written, right? Like this was written in my life story. Because it's just so crazy that I'm reading these stories, and honestly, like the first couple of books in outside of Genesis, and I don't even think I ever read the full book of Genesis before in my entire life. But just reading through these like early chapters, I'm really learning a lot. And I like the person that is leading the Bible study. It's Kanoi, if y'all are on YouTube and doing her Bible study. I just like how she does her note taking. I like how she breaks things down. And like her commentary after we read a chapter or when we read certain verses, if something like downloads to her, then she, you know, talks about it. And I really like that because it makes it relatable. And it doesn't just make it seem like, okay, these are so many words that I just don't understand. And so I am I'm happy that I am doing this Bible study because it's showing me my weaknesses. It's showing me the areas that I need to improve on. And I don't look at that as a bad thing. I feel like, you know, we all as people have areas where we can grow. And not a lot of people like to look in the mirror and recognize those things. So a lot of people like to kind of stray away from, you know, doing the work. But I'm doing the work, y'all, because when I tell y'all I want to go to heaven, I'm doing the work. I'm doing the work. So that's my video for today. Just me doing my Bible study, learning and growing, applying it to my life, seeing where the similarities are in the stories and the people that's in the Bible. And it's just so amazing. God is so amazing. So yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video.